This is a requested video for the Piano Alpha bracelet from Braceletbook number 1780. To keep the tutorial from getting ridiculously long, I've broken the pattern down into 3 sections. Each section represents a key from the piano. Essentially, this pattern repeats the different keys in different rotation. Rather than do 100 plus rows in one video and consistently repeat the same sections, I'm going to show how to knot each key, and you can then refer to each section as needed to create the relevant key at the point in the pattern that you need it. To get started, you want to create your outline by taking your black thread on the left hand side and doing forward knots all the way to the other side. Once you've done your first row, you might need to adjust it slightly just to make sure it's straight at the top. Next, you want to take the same thread that you worked last time and then work back across the row. So this time you want to do a backward knot over your first thread. And then you want to switch and you want to do forward knots with your white threads until you get to the last thread. And when you get to the end of the row, you want to switch positions again and do a backward knot so that your black shows up. For your next row, you want to take your black thread and do one forward knot. And then you want to do backward knots until you get to your last thread. And at the end of this row, you want to do a forward knot again. And to complete your first section, you want to take your black thread again and then working across the row again, you want to do 6 backward knots. And then you want to switch and do 4 forward knots. And lastly, you want to do 1 backward knot. Next, you want to repeat the black outline from row 1, which will be the end of your first key and the beginning of your next key. So after your black outline, you want to do 6 backward knots. And next you want to do 4 forward knots. And lastly, you want to do a backward knot. Next, you want to do a forward knot. And then you want to do backward knots until you get to your last thread. And lastly, you want to do a forward knot. Next, you want to do 1 backward knot. And then you want to do forward knots until you get to your last thread. And lastly, you want to do a backward knot. To complete the key, you want to do your black outline again like you did for row 1 and take your black thread and do forward knots till the end of the row.